This is Paul Lagasse from Channel 37, and I'm here with Scratch Bacharach, who's been a fan of science fiction since 1969. We met Scratch yesterday when he was wearing his Balticon 9 badge, which meant obviously we're going to have a good conversation here. And I'm going to turn the camera around to face Scratch and ask him some questions about the past, the present, and maybe the future of science fiction fandom.
Well, hello, Channel 37 viewers. As Paul's mentioned, I've been a fan since '69. That's 43 years, I believe. My math is correct.
Close to it.
I've watched fandom develop, deconstruct, several times over. And right now we're in a constructive mode and getting away from a deconstructive mode that started about 5 years ago. I believe that science fiction fandom has a responsibility as a genre. And that responsibility is to inspire creativity and imagination and development. I.e., we got to get back into space. And we haven't been doing that recently. We've been concentrating on vampires and wizards, and I don't think that is helpful, though it's entertaining, and there's nothing wrong with that. But I think we need to start inspiring people again to move out into the solar system and further. And we should be doing it, and we're not.
Who's your favorite author today?
Today, the man who is the guest of honor at this convention, Ben Bova, because he has the entrepreneurial spirit and the get up and get there attitude, and it's in all of his writing. The shuttle was not an end unto itself. The shuttle is just transportation and a starting point. It's like waiting on a platform for a subway. You got to get on the subway.
What do you think about the private space ventures like SpaceX and the Virgin space, suborbital flights? What do you think about that?
I'll invest in it.
Unambiguous, clear answer. I love it.
There's nothing wrong with the United States leading us into space, but if you're a leader, you've got to have followers, and David is finding the followers. He's making the world involvement, and that's what we have to do. We can't go into space as individual nation states. We have to go in as a planet.
It's wonderful hearing you say that, because that's the spirit that permeated science fiction and fandom when I got into it. That was still very much about the L5 Society and space colonies, and when I became a fan, and I really looked forward to I expected by now to be living in space, frankly, the way it was going, and I'm really kind of disappointed that I'm not. You must be even more so. Well, you've been waiting for it longer than me.
One of the things about space is I tell people, and I'm very dead serious about it, if you'll excuse the fun that's coming, I don't expect to die on this planet. I do not want to die on this planet. It's not that I want to be immortal, but I want to leave the planet, and I want to be, out there. I come from the old trying to type mimeograph years.
Sure.
And though it was fun, it wasn't very efficient. And the efficiency is something that we're wasting. We're not using.
Tell me more.
Well, we could be years ahead of where we are now as a genre. Except we get hung up in, once again, the vampires and the wizards and the elves, and they're fun, and I enjoy them, and I love, Tolkien, and I love David Eddings, but that's not where we are as a species anymore.
Back in the day when conventions were the opportunity to have the real-time chat that you can now have with Twitter, Facebook, email, is there still a place for conventions in the future? I mean, in fandom and for the genre as a meeting place and as a birthplace for new ventures like Channel 37.
Yes, there is. Conventions are very important because one of the things that science fiction fans have in common to a more or less degree is that we're introverts. And this is the only place where we can still maintain our introvertedness but be forced to be extroverted. And we're extroverted in a very concentrated way. That's what a convention is for. Oh, I'm very confident. One of the things about science fiction fans is one of the real truisms. We all have to be optimists. We believe in the future. A lot of the mundane world doesn't. That's one of the reasons that fantasy is taking off so well, because fantasy does not deal in the future.
Well, that's a very optimistic note to end this interview on, and Scratch Bacharach, on behalf of Channel 37, I thank you for your terrific insights and for inspiring me for at least the rest of the con.